Namo Namaha. There is a huge confusion on the pronunciation of this letter. In this video, I will be discussing about what is the right pronunciation. This particular letter is pronounced differently in different parts of India. Like for example, in the south it is pronounced as dnya, in the north it is pronounced as gya, and in Maharashtra I think it is pronounced as dnya. Basically, there is a huge confusion on what is the right pronunciation. I will analyze this logically with a lot of references from authoritative sources. Basically, this alphabet is a combination of j plus ny plus a. In its pure form, without the addition of a vowel, it is just this, which is j plus ny. But since it is difficult to pronounce without the support of a vowel, I have added a here. So since it is j plus nya, note that here I have added up ny plus a and I have written it as nya. So since it is j plus nya, we have to pronounce this as dnya. But nobody pronounces it that way, and the Arya Samaj people are working on reviving this pronunciation dnya. Now you may ask, maybe when j and nya are combined, does it give rise to a new sound? Very clearly, some of the earlier texts also say that it is just a combination of j and nya, and no new sound is attributed to this letter. Here is a reference from Laghushabdendushekhara written by Nagesha. This work is a commentary on the Siddhanta Kaumudi of Bhattoji Dikshita. Siddhanta Kaumudi is a very important Sanskrit grammar book. In the Laghushabdendushekhara, Nagesha says ja nyor gnya iti. That is, ja and nya together make gnya. Then he says ja nya yoge loka veda siddhata drishadhvaner lipi visheshasya chanuvadakam abhiyukta vachanam, which means this joining of ja and nya is used both in Laukika Samskrita and also in Vedika Samskrita, and he uses the word lipi vishesha, meaning it has a special script symbol to denote it. Then he says natvidam varnantaram, meaning but this is not a new letter or a new phoneme. It's not a new sound. Why? Because Shiksha da vapariganitattvena tatsatve mana bhavat. That is because it is not addressed in the Shiksha Shastras, and Shiksha Shastras have not addressed it because it is not considered as a separate sound or a separate phoneme. Based on this, we come to know that it is j plus nya and is supposed to be pronounced as dnya. Now, does that mean the other pronunciations like dnya, gya, dnya are wrong? No, they are not wrong. I have seen some YouTube channels declaring some pronunciations as wrong, and I would say it is wrong to declare the other pronunciations as wrong. Here is my explanation. I was referring to this very old book on Paniniya Shiksha. I found this book in my mother's book collection. It is a very nice book which gives the Sanskrit commentary on Paniniya Shiksha and also has the Hindi translation of the commentary. In the beginning of the book, some pronunciation issues are addressed. Among them, the major one is the pronunciation of this letter. The authors of the book have also discussed about what Nagesha has written and about which I discussed here. I was able to find only the passage that I shared with you, but it looks like Nagesha has mentioned that though dnya is j plus nya, there are variations in its pronunciation. So he himself has mentioned that there are variations in its pronunciation. And the author of this book, Avasthi Bachulal Jnanopanha, has discussed the various variations and has told that all of them are right. For example, in the north, they pronounce this as gya. In the south, we pronounce it as dnya. We say the nya, but we also add the ga sound there. And in Maharashtra, people pronounce it as dnya. They add the sound. Why are these differences not wrong? because these variations are most likely due to the various shakhas. Though there are 4 main Vedas, each Veda has various shakhas or branches. Though most of the content of the shakhas are same, there are slight differences among them. Mostly they are regional differences that suit the people of that region. These differences and the associated rules are clearly mentioned in what is called the Pratishakya texts. In this book, Mahaperiva, also known as Sri Chandrasekhara Saraswati, who was the Shankaracharya at the Kanchi Peetham and who had studied the Vedas and Shastras very deeply, has also acknowledged the regional differences in pronunciations. He has given an example in this book. Shukla Yajurveda has many shakhas, out of which one is the Madhyandina Shakha of Shukla Yajurveda, which is practiced in the north of India. In the Pratishakya text of Madhyandina Shakha, it is clearly said that it is permissible to use the sound ja in the place of ya. This practice is also reflected in the way people of that region pronounce. In south, we say yogi, and in north, they may say it as jogi. Like this, there are some variations. And because of these variations in shakhas, there is obviously variation in the way people pronounce their sounds. And the variations in the pronunciation of this letter across various regions of India is also because of that. Now you may think, so can I just pronounce whatever is convenient for me and say that because I am from this different region, I pronounce it that way? No. The thing is, in case of confusions like these, we have to follow the ShiShTas. Who are ShiShTas? Anukarana yogyaha ShiShtaha, meaning those who are worthy of being followed or those who are worthy of being imitated are ShiShTas. There can be different ShiShTas for different fields of knowledge. If you want to learn agriculture, a farmer who has been practicing it from many years can be the ShiShTA for you. In the case of pronunciations, who are the ShiShTas? The scholars who have immersed themselves in the study and teaching of this language are the ShiShTas. The Vedic Pandits who have rigorously practiced their pronunciations under their guru and who are preserving the knowledge from so many generations are ShiShTas. So if you are from, say, Maharashtra, just observe how a scholar or a Vedic Pandit from your region pronounces this sound. Like how do they pronounce the word yajna or jnanam, and follow them. In the south, we pronounce it this way, yajna, jnanam. We pronounce the nya sound, but we bring in a ga sound before it. I can confirm this pronunciation for South India because this is how the many scholars that I have interacted with and spoken with pronounce it. I have been speaking this language Sanskritam from the time I started speaking. My mother is a Sanskrit scholar and I grew up in Mysore city amongst some wonderful scholars. So I can confirm this pronunciation for South India. We have to always respect the parampara. If a particular pronunciation has been followed for many years, we cannot just condemn it as wrong. I too stand corrected in this matter with regards to the pronunciation of Visarga. In my video on the pronunciation of Visarga, I quoted from the Paniniya Shiksha the right way to pronounce it. And in the south, we do not pronounce it that way. But if you see the parampara and if you observe the pronunciation of the ShiShTas in the south, then they pronounce it as Ramaha. The ha sound is more strong in the south, whereas Paniniya Shiksha says it should be very light, Ramah. But in south we pronounce it as Ramaha, which I considered as wrong based on the instructions in the Paniniya Shiksha. But if we take the parampara into consideration, pronouncing it as Ramaha is correct if you are from the south. In fact, Panini Maharshi himself takes regional variations into consideration. In the sutras of Panini, there is a sutra which says va ba yor abhedaha, meaning you can use va and ba interchangeably. I have seen a Sanskrit based YouTuber, very popular YouTuber, condemning the North Indian pronunciation of V as B. But actually it is okay. Our rishis are called Paramakharunikas. They totally accept and respect the fact that everyone is not the same. So they took regional variations into consideration. Also, my professor also always said, remember that language came first and later came the grammar rules. What Panini Maharshi did was, he observed the usage of the language and then based on the usage he started grouping and finding rules, and he captured the entire usage of the entire language in his 4000 sutras. No doubt he is a genius, but we must always remember that language spoken by the people existed before the rules of grammar. Therefore, parampara is given more importance than the rules of grammar. I hope you got some clarity regarding the pronunciation of this letter. I pronounce it as dnya because I am from the south and this is how it is pronounced in my region as per the parampara. So I will pronounce these words like this: yajnaha, jnanam, kritagnyata, sangnya, jnani. If you are not from the south, I would recommend you to check the pronunciations of the ShiShTas from your region and follow them. That will be more natural to you and also the correct one. If you got value out of this video, then please do click the like button. Also do share it with many people because there is a huge confusion regarding the pronunciation of this letter. And if you are new to my channel, then please do subscribe for more such interesting and useful videos. Agrimachitre Melitasmi Namo Namah.